Thank you. I've demonstrated in my work, now that I went down to absolutely zero money in the bank and zero money in my pocket, suddenly I just started performing. And now it's like everything's falling into place in such a major way that it's shaken me up, because I actually can have abundance. Why do I have to get down to zero to discover it?
Sometimes it takes a lot to get you to focus. And sometimes it takes a lot to get you to ask with strong clarity. So the contrast caused you to ask for quite a while before you were allowing. But it was just the perfect unfolding, wasn't it?
Absolutely. But you know, what's going to happen when the abundance arrives? Am I going to go back to, zero in the bank again? I mean, I want to keep that flow coming forever because it feels so good.
Well, one of the things that we've noticed about most of you is that once you have deliberately asked and once you have felt your way into alignment, you don't step back. Sometimes you step back out of habit, but not without noticing that you've stepped back into a vibration that used to be familiar that now isn't. In other words, sometimes you throw a little fit just for effect. But once you know what you know, you never throw one of those fits without knowing that you're throwing a fit and without knowing that it is not to your advantage to keep throwing it. And so we'd just like to say to you, you don't need to worry about it because you know too much. You now know that you are the creator of your own reality. You now know that you have a vortex that is full of things that you are in the process of getting ready for. And that really is the way we would like you to look at all of this. We would like you to look at it from the standpoint that there's much more there for you. And that just like water flows downhill, it will flow into your manifested experience. But if you take too much score about what your manifested experience is, then you activate the what is in too strong of a way, and you don't let the what is coming flow as easily as it would. You can't offer a vibration about what is that is missing some of what you want, and what is in the vibrational vortex that is full of everything you want. You can't offer those vibrations at the same time. It's one or the other. And you can tell by the way you feel, by your level of contentment or satisfaction or joy. You can tell by the way you feel what you're doing vibrationally. So once you convince yourself that feeling good means you're ready for good stuff to flow, and feeling bad means you're temporarily, at least in this moment, holding it apart a little bit so that you more consistently are feeling good. You don't need to guard yourself against a negative moment or against a negative response to something unwanted. But you do want to have a balance where you're more feeling good than feeling bad, and aware when you're feeling bad that you don't have to be, that you could do something about it if you would try just a little bit, you see.
Understood.
Yeah. So?
Can I stay?
So it's an easy thing, isn't it?
It is a neat thing. And I'm finding that what created the effect on my clients was when I was bringing that sense of unbridled joy and love to them.
People can feel when you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and that is the definition of what attraction is. In other words, when you say a person is attractive, meaning you're drawn to them, it's because they're tuned in with who they are. There's no discord between who they're being and who they really are. They have accessed the energy that creates worlds. They're radiating that energy outward. They are positively flowing toward anyone who they are setting their eyes on. And people feel the benefit to them of your gaze when you're tuned in like that, you see.
And that's what made it happen.
But it doesn't mean that you're responsible to all of them. And if you try to be responsible to all of them, because there are more of them than there are of you, then as you focus upon their need for your alignment, their vibration will become dominant and you'll lose your connection. That's the piece you were looking for.
That's it, yes.
Yeah.
Because
so just mind your own business. Don't give too much attention to how anyone is receiving you. And that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because when you are wanting to help people, you are sort of watching whether you are or not. And when you're wanting to attract people, you're sort of watching whether you are or not. So you'll learn this comfortable dance of wanting to be all that you can be for them. That's really what Esther was thinking about when she was wanting to sleep well. She wanted to be in the best possible place that she could be, for the best possible receiving of us, for the best possible upliftment of you. In other words, that's what she's thinking about. And so as your dominant intent is for upliftment, and you are looking for ways in order to achieve that, you'll figure it out one step at a time, one thing at a time, one relationship at a time. Just be easy. The best thing for you to do, and if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would amend the story that we tell to leave out the part about when things weren't going well. We'd let that become a distant memory. In time, it will fade away completely. And we would amplify everything that happened once things started turning around for you. We would talk mostly to ourselves about it and not very much to others, because there's a tendency when you're talking to others to want to pump them up to the enthusiasm that you're feeling. You might catch them in a moment when they're not feeling all that pumped up. And unless you've really got your sea legs, they will influence you. It sort of waters you down just a little bit. So just get out there and feel good and feel frisky and be by yourself as much as you can until you're really stable. And then let law of attraction fill in your grid. Let law of attraction bring those who are ready for you with perfect timing. Really good.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.